not think that you are too small to impact your generation. Here, I'll prove it to you. The longest reigning monarch in the British Empire was Queen Elizabeth II. And she reigned for how many years? 70 years. What if I told you she was never meant to be queen? Come, let me give you a quick history lesson. Her father, King George VI, was the second son of King George V. King George V had two sons, Edward VIII and King George VI. Edward VIII was the first son. King George VI was the second son. Now, if you know anything about monarchies, is the heir is the first. So, their father dies, and guess who becomes king? Edward VIII. King George died in 1936. The problem was, Edward VIII started having an affair with an American married woman called Willis Simpson in the early 1930s. So he was in love with a married woman. When the king died, Edward VIII becomes king, January 1936. And the love is still loving. The fire is burning. And because he's king in January, everybody's like, hold up, king, you know, this love cannot happen. She gets divorced in October 1936, and he's determined that he will marry her. The monarchy says no. Establishment says no. You are the king of England. They say no. Everybody's saying no. But the king is saying, yes, you cannot marry this woman. So he says, okay. On December 10th, he says, to be with the love of my life, I abdicate my throne. Fear woman. The man that was born, groomed to be king his whole life, sat on the throne. But because of woman, he says, I abdicate my throne. I give it all up for you, baby. Hey. No matter how strong you are, you're not strong past woman, or forget. On December 11, 1936, he gets on the radio, BBC, and announces to the whole kingdom that he's abdicating his throne and he's no longer king because he wants to be with Willis, the love of his life. And in that moment, the kingship passed from Edward to George VI. And because of that one action, his lineage completely changed. One action. And so King George VI, who was never going to see the throne, becomes king. And after him, guess who assumed the throne? His firstborn, Queen Elizabeth II. And after Queen Elizabeth, guess who assumed her throne? His son, King Charles. After King Charles is now William. It all changed. One action. Don't tell me that your actions cannot impact generations. You need to understand that your obedience can have a lasting impact on your generation. It's not about how you feel. It's about what is at stake.